Well, it's been a little while since I updated you on the bamboo garden and the long pond, and it might be a while before I do it again, actually, because we're going to plant here fairly soon, but then we're going to have to kind of leave it for a while. But as you can see, the wall is looking fantastic. This has all been pulled out around the long pond. We're just waiting on paving, and this is all prepared along the side here for a new supporting wall here to so we can build up these beds. Now up here is going to be basically the murder border, I think. We're going to embrace the jaggy bushes that were here already, which, as you can see, despite a fairly brutal prune, are actually looking okay. This fella here is the one I was most worried about because it has the most glorious spikes on it and beautiful flowers, and we really brutalized it when we trimmed it, but it's doing all right. It's all come back pretty strong. This is a giant mess that we're going to have to get rid of, but later. But yeah, we're gonna put some we've got a bitter orange which has got like spines like this. Absolutely fantastic plant. We've got some ornamental brambles. I was thinking like Rubus tibetianus, Rubus coburnianus, these really silver stem brambles, which I love. And because of you know what bramble is like, it gets absolutely everywhere, but because we're building these in here, we can build little contained beds, hopefully, so they won't get too out of control. Now, the bamboo garden. Now this is, I think the last time I did a video here, Poppy was going to go in and thin out all of these clumps, and she has done, and they look amazing. What we've done as well is we've dug out some of these little guys that were getting completely smothered by the bigger clumps of bamboo, so that we can either, well, those we're going to have to move and put somewhere else, somewhere where they can get a little bit of light. There's still a fair bit of detritus here, as you can see at the back here. The battering rain has made a really, has sort of slowed things down. It's made progress on the wall very, very difficult. But if you look at the work here that Poppy's done on this bamboo, you can see like all of the old stuff has been cut out. See all down here, these have all been cut back. So whilst it all looks super, super thin at the moment, what I'm hoping is that in the spring, because of all this pruning, it's going to really, really explode. Now, through there, that's our driveway, and we don't really want the bamboo garden to have that kind of a view. I liked it shut off as it was before, because it gave it a real otherworldly kind of an aspect. Now this is the center of it. Just to back up a little bit, that is where a massive, massive standing stone is going, as soon as we can find one, but they're not that easy to find, especially on the scale that we want. And here is the little bit of extra planting that we're going to be doing. Now, I went to Pan Global Plants, who do some very, very cool things. We've got Fargesia nitida, and I am not going to attempt to pronounce Chinese names, but we've got a really nice big fat magnolia tree just to go in this corner. We've got a couple of red stemmed bamboos, and then some painted ferns, which we're just going to put around here. Now, obviously this garden is largely predicated on chaos. I think the founding principle, the Taggarts would always say, one of everything, but only one of anything, so they could get as many different kinds of plants in here as they possibly could. Now, generally speaking, I agree with this, but I think in this particular area, like a really limited planting palette is actually might work a little bit better. So if you look, when we cleaned this out, there was like some Curtomium falcatum. So we've got a little pile of it sitting there, and I think what we're going to do is we're going to put that all along here, all along the sides of the path, so it's all the same plant, and give it, I don't know, sort of embrace the fact that this bit is a little bit stylized and a little bit designed, and it's not just this chaotic explosion of one of everything everywhere. So over the next few weeks, we're going to basically plant up all this, get the magnolia in, get the 2 new bamboos in, get some painted ferns just around the front here, Curtomium falcatum along the back, just to sort of continue that theme, maybe a little bit around the edges here. Bringing up, you can see like how much has been thinned out. You remember, I think one of the first videos I did, I showed you this clump was just looking in an absolute mess, and it's finer and it's smaller, so it was getting totally shaded out. Well, we now have a little bit of canopy space, and it's already looking so much happier. And as you come up here, you get all the way to the top. This gate, actually we might be able to keep the gate. The bridge we can't keep, the bridge is rotten. And the burn up at the top of the bamboo garden. So this will be the last update from here, because when I get back, I'm going on a plant collecting trip to Chile. And when I get back from there, I'm going to walk you around the front of the house, because the drainage trench is dug, the scaffold is away, and the whole terrace at the front of the house is going to have to be redesigned pretty much from scratch the tail end of this year, early in the new year. So that is the next project. Like I said, we can do a quick walk around here, I guess, once things have been planted, but it's the front of the garden that's going to be the next big challenge.